Okay, good morning, Steve from the Camouflage store. We get asked quite a lot about different kinds of boots, especially for the police and for security. And it's nice sometimes if you can actually have a look at all the boots all together and the differences between them, because times change with designs and with materials, and I think it'd be just good for you to have a look at. We had a customer in yesterday that just wasn't sure on the kind of boots, so we put out a load of boots, gave the pros and cons of each one. So we'll do a rough one now. I mean, I was back into the police back in 2005, and this was, believe it or not, my first boot, which was the old-fashioned Magnum Classic. As you can see, I didn't do a lot in them, did I? But that was me moving and doing other little bits and pieces. But I've kept these, and that will just to show you the old-fashioned Magnum Classic. I mean, back in the day, everybody used to have this kind of boot. Not so much now. The build quality's obviously suffered with probably changing factories and materials and all the rest of it. But if we go back before then, probably 20 odd years ago, probably even further, the old Dr. Martin. I mean, I know this one's got the yellow seam around there, the stitching, but so we've gone quite a way, haven't we, in a period of time. So the old Dr. Martin, which we never get asked for anymore, I'm not surprised, because it's just the quality is different, and the look is different. People want a different look. So that's from these. So from the Magnums to the Dr. Martens, there's several types of boots. What we normally do is when we get somebody in to measure their feet, you can normally see by their feet if they've got very, very wide, high volume, or narrow, to see which last is going to sort of fit them the best, and also for what they do. People have got different jobs, they're in different areas, different environments, and some boots would be more advantageous than others for different areas. So if we go to Berg, the Berg Peacekeeper P1. This is probably our most popular selling boot to the police and to security. They've improved the sole unit, or renewed the sole unit, because it's better for concrete and for harder impact. And then some people want a lighter boot. This is the Berg sneaker. So you've got the Berg sneaker, the Berg tabbing boot. They're lighter. So if you want to be doing more running, if you're going to be running, or if you want something that's a lot lighter on your feet, then that is the kind of option that you've got available. A size 9 will be about sort of between 700 and 800 grams. It's very, very light. So again, we put these down, people try them on. As you can see, that's made on a medium last, or they both are. So when we get people in that have got very, very wide feet, then I know that these are probably not the best option for them. So we'll come back to those in a second. The Lower Mountain GTX. Okay, so this really is our go-to boot if we've got people with wide feet. They're fairly good for that. They're a lot heavier. So the disadvantages with this, in my opinion, they're a lot heavier. These ones have got a Gore-Tex membrane, so they're less breathable. They're going to take longer to dry out, but you have got the advantage of them being waterproof, or you're going to get more waterproof from them, and they are wider. But we normally put 3 or 4 pairs down and see what people think. And normally when they try these on, they're just a little bit too heavy for them. But everybody's different, so I'm not going to say what's good for me is good for you. It's going to be good for everybody. Now then we go to the handwag. The handwag do too. Special Forces LX, which is this one, and then they do the Special Forces GTX, which is this one. This one has a Gore-Tex membrane, this does not. German boots again, lovely. Really, really good quality. We've been selling them now for about 8 or 9 years. And as you can see, when we go back to my Magnum Classics, and then you come to these handwags, there's a big difference. You know, these retail about, I don't know, 180, 190 pounds. You know, even now these are probably knocking on about 90 pounds, something like that. So the quality is just, you know, it's leaps ahead. Now, we had a customer in this morning and he bought 3 pairs of these. He's had them for the last 10 years, tried every boot out. This boot is for him. He bought 3 pairs, 2 for him and 1 for his brother. His brother exactly the same. So these boots suit his feet. He's tried others, but that one there suits his feet and he gets good wear out of them, and obviously he's delighted. So that's the choices. You know, there are other brands, you know, people make other ones, but I would say for us, those are the most popular ones. And you know, you've got to decide what is best for your feet. So when people come into our shop, they all get measured using the Brannock device, and then we can roughly gauge how we go and how people feel. So with the Peacekeeper P1, they do a toe cap version, a safety version called the Berg Peacekeeper P3. So that's got the safety toe. Now, some requirements, you know, you have to have that. But if you don't, then I would definitely go for a non-safety one. So that's the sort of options you've got. All these boots can be resold again, which is great because, you know, the leather normally, as long as you look after the leather, use leader grease and various kinds of greases and waxes which will help feed and nourish the leather. So that'll give you an idea. So we'll go back from again. So the Dr. Martin, you know, that definitely looks a lot aged, doesn't it? Then we go to the Magnum Classic, you know, to this kind of thing. We don't sell these anymore in the shop. You know, I was disappointed with the quality, and no, not for us anymore. I mean, some people get on with them, that's fine. They've got a high level of sponge in them, and in, you know, but when the sponge breaks down, then that's when it causes problem. You get more room, feet move around in it, and the plastic cup at the back digs it, you know. So yeah, so those used for gardening. Then we've got the Berg Peacekeeper P1, which I would say is probably our best selling one. Then we go to the Berg Sneaker. They do a tabbing boot as well, which is very, very similar. We've done a video on the Berg tabbing boot. Then we have got the 2 handbag versions. By the way, this is only made for the UK, the Special Forces. They did do an MOD brown one for our military customers, but they've stopped making that one now. But this one is continuing at the moment. So that's a Special Forces LX GTX. And then we go to Lower. I mean, Lower do lots of different boots. The Lower Patrol was a non-Gore-Tex version. Now, as I understand it, they're stopping that one now. So they're just sticking with the Mountain, the Combat, and various other ones. I think we've got another one here somewhere, which is the Z8 S, which is a GTX. That's a Gore-Tex version, but as I understand it, I'm not too sure what's happening with that one as well. So, you know, models come and go, and they discontinue them and they improve them and all the rest of it. So there we go. I hope that's given you a bit of an idea of the different types of boots that are out there. As I said, it's totally the customer's decision. We can put boots in front of them and they can have a look, see how they feel. So I hope that's helped a little bit. Please contact us anytime. Sales at camouflage-store.com. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you can, and give us a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you.